Hi there, and welcome to episode 143 of the ADHD Adults Podcast. Don't know what the pause was for. It's actually because I saw Alex was frustrated I didn't respond to him saying one just before I started. I'm James Bright, the man whose stress levels ironically have risen in the last 2 or 3 minutes. I'm not sure why. There must be a reason for that. And I'm joined as usual by Dr. Alex Connor, fact, the man who cannot stress enough that if you go down to the woods today, nothing bad will happen. Nothing bad at all. And the only woman who, if stress actually did burn calories, would weigh minus 20 kilograms, Mrs. ADHD.
Fact.
Alex, hi.
Good. And I can't stress this enough, James. Day to you, sir.
Fucking hell. Moving on. Sam, hi.
Hi.
Oh, good. Alex, no. Jesus, James, how are you both? Mrs. ADHD first.
Jesus, I'm so sorry. My computer made a noise. It doesn't normally do that, and I cannot do anything. Okay. I'm better than I was, thanks.
I might cut that bit out. I mean, I'm not sure because it's that.
I liked it, James.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Fair enough. And Alex, I suppose I should ask, even though I obviously don't care, how are you?
I'm excellent, thank you. Yeah, really good. Although Tarquin, the Metrics Intern, did accidentally send us an embarrassing group text yesterday that said, yesterday was the best total Monday figures for 6 months. No idea.
He sent it today.
Or was it this morning?
Yeah.
I don't know what it means or why he was telling us, but apparently it's something to do with listeners. No idea. Irrelevant. One of whom sent us a letter.
No.
Oh.
They did. It was, I'm just going to check who it's
from. Should that be?
Yeah. It's from, it works. It works well.
Okay then.
It's from a Robert from Kidderminster.
It
says, I listened from heaven to your now deleted episode on workplace discrimination that no one got to hear. And even if you let 1/3 of the things James said in that one out in the public, he would have to sell his Dracula castle to cover his legal costs.
I should say, for the first time, we literally had to call lawyers in.
James, just remind me of the text that your lawyer said when you said.
Okay, while you're doing your bit, I'll get it up.
Hi, Stuart.
I didn't realise, James, though. Can I read it out? And Sam.
Yes, please.
You're supposed to say no. Right, it says, hi, I wanted to drop a note, maybe, for the ADHD adults, especially Mrs. ADHD, as she's the best one. It says here, I've been listening for the past few months. I only have about 20 to go, which is terrifying as it's become such a part of my routine. I wanted to say that I've been so impacted by the casual discussion of suicidal thoughts. I've had suicidal ideation for my entire life, and it's only now through the discussion on the podcast that I finally talked to someone about it, and I'm starting therapy. The team do such a fantastic job. Alex is always supporting me over on Threads, answering my stupid questions. James is such an open and honest about his mental health, and Sam makes me feel less like I'm the only person to feel this way. Just in case this gets read out, totally fine with them using my name. It's Chris.
Hi, Chris. Thank you.
That's lovely. That's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
I found a message from my lawyer which says, "What in the actual cunt-curdling holy godmother and shitting wank fuckery are you thinking?" Which I think, as legal advice, is probably up there, isn't it?
It's amazing.
I know.
It's just brilliant, and it shows an ADHD informed lawyer right there.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
I love that from Chris. It was such an important message. Well, we didn't realize when we started talking about these really serious things in our stupid way that it was in any way unusual, right? Because we always have together, the three of us, about this nonsense. Yeah. It also slightly annoys me, doesn't it? Well, I can't remember why that letter annoyed me, James. Can you?
No, we probably changed it. I think at some point it's probably a different letter. So yeah.
As usual, Tarquin, the Metrics Intern, has given me information about another city we have listeners in because we forgot which countries we were doing, and it's the beautiful Dublin, where 1% of our listeners live, or at least drive through when they accidentally click on our podcast instead of clicking on Gabby Logan's The Midpoint. Hi, Gabby. The Metrics Intern has told us a fact about Dublin. For those that may not know it, the Book of Kells is actually a colouring book completed in 1982 by a schoolgirl called Aoife. But all Irish people are too embarrassed to admit it. Thank you. Fact.
That's a fucking lie. That's not a fact.
Agree
Fact,
to disagree.
Sam. Yeah. Anyway,
I don't like
usual.
this bit.
I know that's why it's there, Sam. Anyway,
Mhm.
as usual, this Hulk Hogan's sex tape of a podcast is a tragedy in 3 parts. We choose a theme. Last time around was about ADHD and not what the subject is there. And no, anger, possibly anger. I'm not sure. We're doing this out of order. And today we're focusing on ADHD and stress. So thanks to Bex B off of Discord and others for suggesting this topic.
I've
3
used Hulk
parts.
Hogan's sex tape, James. It was effective.
What did you use it for?
I'm pretending there's a kind of tape that he sells, like
Oh,
Paul
no,
Newman salad
yeah.
dressing.
I thought you were just talking about
Oh.
power wang, like trying to really kind of
I used it to really.
like a plaster
It's
as
the only
radio.
way for me. The
Yeah.
only way.
It is for me, not Hulk Hogan, but just porn in general.
Okay. I
Sorry,
mean,
carry on.
yeah, brilliant.
Mm.
Not the thought of your husband or any of that.
Powerful image.
The 3 parts, as usual, include the Tommy Wiseau of evidence, Alex the Psycho. From the Google the room, Alex, education monkey, talking
He's
about the
amazing.
theme.
You are him as well.
personal-
You're just the same.
Our
Thank you.
personal reflections on stress, and then finally a bit of just a tip. So, Alex, now I know you're super relaxed all the time, so this may feel inauthentic, but tell us about ADHD and the stress.
I like that. People genuinely think that about me because of masking at the expense of my mental health. Quick disclaimer, we're talking today about negative stress, which is what people tend to mean, including me, when we say stress, rather than the like biological term for stress, which include more like tension, positive tension, like going on a roller coaster, although not Sam, because she hates them apparently, or loves them, depending on how she feels 1 minute to the next. You do actually hate them though.
Well, some of them I love, but some of them I'm too scared about.
Amazing. Right, psychological stress can be defined as a state of worry or mental tension caused by a difficult situation. It's a natural human response to events that prompt us to address challenges and threats in our lives. It's the tiger when you leave your cave evolutionary stuff, isn't it? Even though that's trite. Everyone feels stress sometimes, and some people find some levels of stress helpful, motivating, that good stress. A little bit of stress is okay and helps us perform any kind of daily activities. And that's called hormesis. It's a biological response to low exposure to stressors that we have capacity for that is beneficial, the roller coaster stuff. As I'm sure James knows, the word hormesis comes from the Greek hormesis, meaning rapid motion or eagerness, which itself is taken from the ancient Greek hormeon, to set in motion, impel, urge on. It's the same Greek word, James, as hormone.
I used to fucking teach this, Alex, and do research on hormone. You know that you. Why am I letting you get me stressed? Why do I allow this? Jesus.
I'll write it down for you so you can remember it later. Although stress
Didn't he
is
write
psychological.
this down?
No, Sam.
You see, Sam. You see what happens, Sam, when we're writing like a joke, you sort of just to tease James, and he fills in that bit.
Sorry, I didn't know it was a joke. I'm sorry.
We need to. Should we have jokes in yellow on the script?
Yeah, I think we should.
Oh, that's a really good idea. Although I do not look at the script.
Yes.
A flaw in the plan.
Amazing.
Sorry, carry on. Yes, could you write
it
down for him, Alex?
A mute button, James. What about a mute button?
Yeah, there is one of those. I'll just mute Sam for most of the podcast. Yeah, let's carry on. This is fascinating. I've never heard of it before.
And when are the National Comedy Awards, James? Although stress is psychological, it affects both mind and body. And actually, that's really, really important because ADHD and many things that are psychological disorders physically affect us directly. So a little bit of stress is good. Too much stress or stress beyond capacity can cause both physical and serious mental health problems, and often do. What does it feel like? Well, there's loads of symptoms of stress, and I get to do a boring list klaxon, which I like. Are you ready?
Yes, please.
Sleeping problems, loss of appetite, difficulty concentrating, anxiety, irritability, racing thoughts, racing heart, worry constantly, things going over your head, things going through your head all the time.
Is any of this sounding familiar to people listening at the minute?
I might as well have written, here's a list of ADHD symptoms.
Yeah, absolutely. Sam.
Oh,
Sam.
how is it biological if it affects us mentally then?
What a
I'm not
fucking
that
stupid
stupid. I
question.
know that.
What an idiot.
What a fucking stupid question. I am an idiot. I know
Christ.
that biological stuff is your brain as well. Your brain's not separate to your body.
I bet you feel really stupid.
I feel really
How many brains?
stupid
How many
now.
brains have you got, Sam?
2
Where's the other one?
in my stomach.
I mean, that
Bollocks,
is
got it right.
Yeah.
And my stomach knows before my brain knows if
You're
I'm stressed, because immediately my stomach goes.
That's top level psychoeducation, Sam. Well done.
It is, yeah. And I really like the expression gut feeling, because it's not just a symbolic. I mean, we have, yeah, exactly. Very nice. I like it.
So anyway, how is it biological if it affects us mentally then?
It's an excellent question, Sam. Well done. This is, it should be you pretending to be a doctor, not James. The body's at equilibrium, right? It's homeostasis is what people talk about, and it is disturbed in loads of ways, and our job as a body is to get it back to broadly the center, and it can be disturbed by internal effects and external events. Anything we perceive as threatening can elicit this stress reaction, internal or external. The stresses are perceived in the brain, even if you touch them or you smell them or you hear them, that immediately is processed in the brain. And we either activate the sympathetic nervous system, that's fight or flight, or adrenaline, if you like. But we also release cortisol, the classic stress hormone that's secreted by the adrenal glands, which sit on top of the kidney. James, adrenal.
Yeah.
That means over the adjacent to the kidneys. Little known
apart from somebody that used to teach this to first year students for 10. Just carry on.
Well, teach it badly though. Teach it badly.
Yeah, of course.
James.
Yes, exactly.
The fight or flight response, adrenaline mostly, but cortisol as well, can be immediate and affect us in loads and loads of ways. Cortisol, the more stress hormone, that can take a little bit of time, more like 10, 20 minutes. After something is stressful. So you get lovely double bubble reactions. So when someone experiences a stressful event, the amygdala, which is a little part of the brain that looks like an almond, contributes to how we process emotions and communicates with the rest of the body and all that kind of thing. It uses the nervous system to communicate. So the person frightened has the energy to fight or to run away. As adrenaline races through your bloodstream, it makes the heart beat faster than normal. It's the real beats, James. And your blood pressure goes up and your rate of breathing can increase. And all the blood vessels can expand into the muscles. So you got more energy or more blood and oxygen to run away from a Dracula, for example. Then 10 or 20 minutes later, as the cortisol is released, you can increase your blood glucose levels. So sugar in the blood is fuel, right? So even more substances to run away from a bat-like creature. Cortisol also slows down the other bodily functions that you don't want to be like eating food and thinking about gagging and all that sort of thing. So it shuts that down. Anything that you don't want or could be harmful in a fight or flight situation, we can shut down those as well.
Oh, so why is it bad then? Was that the right one?
Yes. Well done.
Good. Wow, well done.
It really is. I mean, have you thought about doing the one show, Sam? Because with that level of...
I don't know what that is.
Well, it's mainly Giles Brandreth explaining the House of Parliament.
I don't know who that is.
Unemployed people.
Right. Or what that is.
Or me, in fact.
Yeah.
like I've got a job.
Or what?
So it's bad. Obviously, fight or flight response isn't bad. It's excellent. But the body can overreact to things or have a flight or fight response that is effectively chronic or permanent if we're feeling constantly under threat. And they can be to things that are not life-threatening. Sam, explain your face.
I've just seen that Cooks and Gold have got like a discount on soldering stuff.
Amazing.
Why would you have that tab up?
Because unlike you two, I'm working today. I know it's before work time.
So
but
you're working on soldering.
What?
You're working on investigating who has soldering equipment available.
No,
for
but I was checking my work email and this came up and I thought, aha.
I'm fairly certain when we did the productivity episode, Sam, you advised tidy computer or desk, tidy mind.
Yes, I do not do the things that I advise to other people. At all. Carry on. Just do the Brummy accent.
No,
we're not there yet.
He's not got there yet. You're reading out the bit that's in red. That's me.
That's not you either, is it? God. That's not in green.
Apologies. Could you mute me?
I mean,
genuinely embarrassing.
It is.
Did you see that comment on Instagram that said, I really love that you guys are prepared to put your run through out on social. Oh, yeah, no, Warren. Wait, that's the actual podcast.
Yeah, it was mysterious Warren. Who, by the way, mysterious Warren.
Yeah.
Who after this will have had his birthday. So belated happy birthday, Warren. We're seeing you later.
Happy birthday.
Yes. Happy 50th.
So we can feel stress for non-life-threatening events, not just the tiger. That's the point. So traffic jams can make us feel that fight or flight. Work pressure. If James has to walk past a blood bank next to a hospital or go out in the sun.
We're going heavy on the Draculas. I like it. So, I mean, completely autonomously and spontaneously, Alex.
Yeah.
Just do the Brummy accent.
All right, James, I'm getting to that. And also Sam. Well, ADHD, which is what you were saying. Studies have shown that adults with ADHD, this is borderline racist, isn't it? Regionally. No. Studies have shown adults with ADHD, because of the thoughts I'm having about. Studies have shown adults with ADHD perceive more stress when measured in a lab. ADHD is linked to stress, no question. That's the fundamental. Perceived stress, how we feel about events in our own stress as children, but also in adulthood, seems to be an important factor associated with ADHD that increases our risk of those coexisting both mental and physical health conditions, anxiety, obesity, that kind of thing. And there seems to be a bi-directional relationship between stress and ADHD, so they fuel each other.
That means
some people think, exactly. Some researchers think that ADHD symptoms themselves can result from stressful experiences in early life alongside the genetic risk. This is that trauma-led ADHD theory, but they talk about not just big T, like parental death and abuse and assault and so on, but what they call small T or small traumas. ADHD appears to contribute to increased sensitivity for stress because we have, and I really like this phrase, deviant stimulus processing. I know I do. Or our perception of life events isn't the same as people with ADHD. And it isn't clear if that's because we have ADHD, so we face them, so we're more sensitive, or if it's just a biological thing that ADHD is. On top of this, other research has shown that increasing ADHD severity is linked to increasing rates of perceived stress. Or Mo symptoms, James, Mo stress.
Oh, that's a good call back to one of the first episodes. Anyway, enough of this tosh. What can be done about it, Alex?
Yeah.
James, can you be a bit patient, please? And shush.
Fucking hell.
Sam, you should do all the questions that James definitely doesn't write down. Well, James, research on the use of stress coping strategies in adults with ADHD is, and I don't think you're going to believe this, scarce. There is a little bit of data that shows some adults with ADHD were more prone to use maladaptive coping strategies. So that's sort of the unhealthy ones we develop, rather than healthier controls, especially with respect to avoidance or avoiding situations, and escape, which are phenomenally similar. It seems higher ADHD symptoms, higher stress, higher risk of implementing maladaptive coping strategies to stress. So what are the strategies to stress? Drinking and drugs and emotional numbing things and gambling and social withdrawal, James, or Tuesday, as you call it. I have to. Emotional masking, Alex, and relying on the same approach, even if it doesn't help, over and over to similar situations, Sam. Look at James's face.
I am outraged.
I know. I'm sorry. I bet you resemble that remark. I mean, resent that remark. Healthier, and there's no such thing as healthy, healthier approaches could include learning stress management things like grounding or unhooking or reframing negative thoughts. James, grounding, what does that mean?
So, for example, the things that are around you, like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique. So, kind of say, saying what's around you when you're feeling stressed. So I can see a printer there. I can smell that massive fart that I did earlier.
5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can touch, 2 things you can
I always
smell.
get them in the wrong order. Yeah,
I like that. And what's the
5
one
things
thing
you can smell and get stuck?
One thing you can. Oh, is it?
Yeah, one thing is taste. But I always get them wrong.
Say it again. Say it again, Sam. Dead quick. 5
things you can
5
see.
things
4
you can
things
see.
you can hear.
4 things you can hear. 3 things you can smell. 2 things you can touch. 2 1 thing. I don't know what the order is. I'm just saying.
I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's a way
it's
of
just occupying your mind.
It's grounding yourself and distracting your brain.
Can you two decide who speaks?
No.
What's
unhooking? I'll go with James again because don't know why.
These are cognitive techniques. These are NIH approved cognitive techniques for, if you like, removing yourself cognitively from a situation that is stressful. So whatever it is about the situation which is particularly triggering the stress, it's about reframing your relationship with that as opposed to just challenging negative thoughts.
I really like it. And I really like reframing negative thoughts. I do it all the time. This morning, I was writing a joke in the script and it kept getting deleted. And my immediate thought was, oh, it's not funny. And James must have gone in and hated it. And then I realized
the first part was true.
Yeah, it isn't. Yeah, naturally. But that's always true. So why was I feeling bad? And then I found out that Sam, despite not being ready to record the podcast, had gone in and was just deleting everything I was writing as I was writing it. But I had to reframe it.
Yeah,
I reframed it as one of you doing that before I knew it was in fact true, and that was really helpful. It stopped me feeling bad. You're not actually holding your hand up to comment, James, are you? You're fiddling with your pen.
No, I'm not. I'm just fiddling with a pen. Yeah, don't worry about that. Sorry.
Unbelievable. Obviously, having a daily routine is valuable and a ball ache. Exercise, same. Sleeping well, same. It's all that stuff we do brilliantly and naturally that would help with our stress levels. So that would be why.
Amazing. I actually think you've and Sam even have explained that really well. So
brutal.
I know. We'll take a break and we'll be back in part 2 for personal reflections and the game. Alex, in a bit.
Bye.
No.
Alex, hi.
Aight. What's up? Hello, Governor.
Welcome back to episode 143 of the ADHD Adults Podcast, where we're talking about ADHD and stress. In this part, we talk about our personal reflections on stress. James, you're the only one that's got something written. Would you like to go first?
Thanks, Sam. I don't know if it comes across on this podcast that I do have stress. I think what I project to our listeners is probably a very relaxed, peaceful, calm person.
Happy clappy.
Yeah, happy, calm, peaceful. No, obviously all the fucking time. I am permanently living in a stressful situation, largely self-created. Again, there is nothing that threatens me. Alex, for fuck's sake, Alex gave me a tip ages ago when I was anxious about kind of asking, good one, about it's a grounding thing, asking yourself, am I in threat? Am I in danger? Is there anything around me? And that it does help because there's nothing that's threatening me, but I am constantly stressed. And the phrase, and Sam, I can see Sam's nodding, the phrase which for the last 15 years I've used is, it's okay because in 2 weeks' time I've got a bit less to do. And I've said that repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly, but obviously in 2 weeks' time I've got just as much or more to do. And that list you read out in the first bit and the kind of the evidence that it makes the symptoms worse, 100%. When I am more stressed than my baseline level of being fucking stressed, I can't function. I'll talk about this in the Friday episode, or in a Friday episode, because we're asynchronous at the minute, about how just a little bit of stress, everything goes, can't cope, can't remember anything, lose everything, just can't sit still, everything gets worse. Now, and as people that have listened to a few of these episodes probably know, I struggle to do mindful things or to relax. So the healthy coping mechanisms, although I have tried grounding and it can help, a lot of the healthy stuff, like relaxation, healthier relaxation, mindfulness, can't do it. My maladaptive coping mechanisms, as they are for when I've got low mood or when I'm really tired or if I'm just feeling poorly, are eating all of the bad stuff or smoking the bone. They are not healthy.
That has
they're
to
not
be a
healthy.
ding.
Yeah, I'm
No,
amazed.
yeah,
We're definitely off our game. I'm sorry, it's been pointed out. Apologies to everyone listening. We are off our game with things. We do need to get back into this as hard as we can.
Smoking the bone?
Yes, the naughty,
Bigfoot's
wacky,
penis.
batty Alex. Bigfoot's penis. Yeah, smoking Bigfoot's penis. That's how, when I'm stressed, I cope by just, again, the dopamine I get from eating all the fucking food. But that just delays the stress for the guilt and anger afterwards when I think, you pathetic, sad little man, you just ate, 3,000 calories in 10 minutes because, you feel a little bit stressed. The healthiest thing I do, the only healthy coping mechanism, and I do it every day, is to have a hot bath. And that is my stress-free zone, is I lie in a hot bath, I have some music on, and I do play on my phone, obviously Wordscapes, fucking hate it. I'm now on, by the way, at level 11,534 of Wordscapes.
No one cares.
Which is
meaningless.
Thank you. But that's my only kind of healthy coping strategy.
Wow.
Alex, you had loads written down before we started. So what about your stress levels?
Yeah, it's been huge in my life. At the moment, I'm managing my stress really, really well. I don't actually have a lot, and because of a big part of stress problems is it can affect your sleep, and sleep problems can cause stress. So it's a killer circle. And alcohol is a sedative. It blocks effective sleep. So as someone with an alcohol use disorder, it's always been, I was always tired, and ADHD is always fatigue based anyway. So I was always tired, always felt alcohol-induced stress. And that was a nightmare. So since stopping drinking, and I do mindful breathing and other things, I feel less stress. And yet, James, my fucking blood pressure is still 150 over 100. All the time. So annoying.
Amazing, isn't it?
Kills me. So I also found it really hard to tell what I was stressed about. I would usually blame it on something else or have displacement stress. Are you got your hand up for a reason?
All of my audio has just gone completely mental. So I didn't hear a word you said, and now it's
You
playing
sound weird.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I missed.
I think you've switched to something.
Have you pressed a button with your clumsy Dracula fingers?
You sound all echoey and weird, even more so than normal.
I'm so sorry about that.
You should be.
Audio.
It's
given me more time to look at the Cooks and Gold sale.
You are bonkers. I have to literally shut every tab down, or I get so easily distracted.
Yeah, but I'm.
I did it when I was giving a talk, Sam, giving a public talk. Flicked up the crossword.
So just, I don't know if we're keeping
That's
this
so
in
much
or not.
better.
Yeah, I don't know if we're keeping this in or not, but basically immediately as Alex started speaking, my headphones stopped working and I could just see him.
I wish that happened.
I couldn't hear a thing.
So
then I thought I'll test the speakers and press the test button. Then I thought I'll take them off. So as I took them off, it was playing the StreamYard music it plays when you test the speakers. Yeah. So do you want to start again from you, Alex? Is that okay? Or
yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay.
So do you want to come in
do
with
it quicker this time?
Yeah. So right. Yeah. So what about you, Alex? You had loads written down before we started recording this morning.
Sam and I forgot you have to write something. Sam didn't forget. She doesn't know there's a script. I forgot to write this bit down. But actually, I don't need to, because stress is a huge problem for me. Lack of sleep, usually mainly because of my alcohol use disorder, because alcohol is sedative. It doesn't help you sleep. Cause stress, and stress causes sleep problems. Absolute killer synergy. And so I would feel stressed an awful lot. on top of that, the ADHD symptoms, the kind of the ones that the drugs help with, actually, the meds help with, feeling like I can't get anything done, I'm unproductive, I'm crap human, was also a major cause of my stress. So finding a stable meds routine, and I do ADHD friendly meditation, and chiefly annoyingly not drinking, have been unbelievably helpful for me. That's what has reduced my stress massively, because when I do feel stressed, I displace. I don't actually know what I'm feeling it about unless I really, really analyze it, because of metacognition problems. I get angry about the wrong thing. I think I'm cross about a dirty cup, when actually I'm like worried about my future or something, and I can't see anything for what it really is. It turns me into a grumpy twat. I've got rid of most of that. I tend not to feel very stressed at the moment. I haven't since pretty much I stopped drinking. James, however, my blood pressure is constantly 150 over 100. That's not great, is it?
Is it not? And that's definitely not the white coat thing when you go to the doctor.
No. When I do it on my own, even like, and because I've also lost a lot of weight, so it's bloody annoying. I think I have a thing called.
You should maybe see somebody about that.
To the doctor. Yeah. Yes, I am going to do that. So that's my relationship with stress is absolutely constantly based on work and alcohol.
Can I give you my observations on your stress? Is that okay?
Yeah, please do.
I've known you since like 2007, 2008. Yeah, far too long. And you've been more stressed up until about 2 months ago. The 6 months before that, your stress levels, the only time I've seen them as high was just as you were about to leave Warwick Medical School, when you were very unhappy.
Which was fine contractually.
Yes. But those 2 periods, your whole behavior, kind of changed. I could see the pain you were in, the fact that everything was heightened because of stress levels. It's to see in somebody that I'll say no as opposed to like, and to see the impact that stress has on that person. If you like them, so if it was someone else, not you, someone else, not you. It's painful to watch when somebody that you love, not you, someone else.
No,
it is stressed, and it's so overtly obvious as well.
I have made the changes at work though, which is really through talking to people similar to you two, not you two, obviously, because you're useless and pointless, but people similar to that. Have been not that. Not that, no.
Not that, but
you've got to make the changes. You have to. The fear of what it meant of losing income in one, or I thought I was going to, and the fear of those sorts of things is such a killer. And the problem is literally probably better to be slightly poor and alive. Again, not you, James.
Thank you for that, Alex.
Not because I want you dead, James, because you already are.
I know, I'm not Alex. I'm not dead. I'm undead. And that type of language is discriminatory.
Apologies.
Thank you.
To the living challenge.
Probably the least stressed of the 3 of us, I would imagine, is Mrs. ADHD.
Bones there.
Yeah, so this will be probably a short personal reflection, won't it, Sam? But, let us know anyway.
Probably, because even though I'm stressed fucking constantly, I can never remember anything, so I might not be able to even say anything, but, I'll have a bash. I just do too much, as we all know. I am literally always working. The minute I finish work, I'm working for the charity, or I'm doing stuff for the podcast, or ADHD Towers, or I'm doing stuff. I'm just always fucking doing stuff. And when I'm doing the one thing, I'm stressing about something else that I'm not doing because I'm spending time doing the other thing. So it is constant for me. And it means that I struggle with sleep because obviously I'm thinking about things. I get IBS. And I was saying before I even know that I'm stressed about something, my stomach knows I'm stressed about something, and I'll feel that it's blown up, and I think, what am I stressed about? And then I get stressed because I can't work out what I'm actually stressed about. So thanks, stomach. I feel like I can't breathe all the time, because there's just so much to do that you feel like you can't fill your lungs because it's just the pressure of it on you. And then if it's really bad, I get panic attacks where I literally feel like I'm going to die because you do the whole hyperventilating thing and you can't get the oxygen in. And then James has to come and breathe with me because I forget how to breathe. And then a lot of things that cause me stress, though, are having to leave the house and interacting with people. They cause me the most as stress, and anticipating that I've got to leave the house and interact with people can cause me so much stress and causes me to lose sleep. And then after those things, thinking about the things I did that I shouldn't have done or said that I shouldn't have said when I was out at those places causes me stress and hatred of myself. So I always think that I'm just better to never ever leave the house or see anyone ever. So then I become a hermit because it's safer for me to do that. But then I hate my life because I never go anywhere or see anyone or do anything. So yeah.
Yeah. Hermit just made me remember, Sam, fighting position, crab. Brilliant. One of the things you said there was really interesting, and
Only one though.
The script is just one. No, but it was all interesting, but I know it all. So white noise.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah,
the one thing which the script intern didn't put in the psychoeducation bit was anticipatory stress, because events, things that happen to us, causes stress. But if you know you've got to do something that causes that fear, that fight or flight response happens in anticipation in advance.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have
No, please, this is your bit.
I have to, because I have to know exactly what is going to happen at all times and be prepared for it. That means I have to think about every possible situation that could possibly happen and prepare for it. And that the situations I've prepared for, which might be 25,000 different situations, not one of them ever happens. And I never react in the way that I've planned to react, because you can't control fucking any of it. So it's all fucking pointless, but I still keep fucking doing it because I'm a fucking idiot.
And is it, yes, you are. Is it only the negative stuff as well? Do you have to plan for the positive things? Does that affect you stressfully?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you remember, Sam, when we went to Frankie Boyle and James wasn't there and he spoke to us and you were there, yeah. To a lesser degree, yes. But when he spoke to you, you told me that immediately your stomach went.
Yeah.
And that was your stress response.
Yeah. And actually, I've got a really close friend, Skeletor, who I fucking adore. And she turned around, just surprised me one day and turned up at the door. And I fucking love her. And I'd love to see her. But because I wasn't anticipating that and hadn't mentally prepared for it, I lost my shit and was hyperventilating and crying. And then I've got a friend that really loves me that's like, so you didn't want me to pop round?
Yeah.
When Sam loses her shit as well, so Jack was around the other day, and this is a mixture of stress and anger. Sam was stressed and it led to anger. Now, Jack can handle himself. I don't think I've ever seen Jack with even a tinge of fear in his eyes. But when you were at the back door, Sam, we both stopped talking and shrank into the sofa like this and just sat there like quiet little boys while we could tell you were going to break something or someone. And it was amazing. It really was. Yeah, anyway, in the interest of time, we've got to get to a game, Alex. We've got to play the game.
Should we play a different game though?
Well, this is the game that you're annoyingly 3-1 up, I believe. Possibly not, because we're now doing this asynchronously, and we may have, for legal reasons, cancelled an episode. But we'll say 3-1 up anyway. So this is about a smart tablet, Alex, and that's not something you swallow, which has a camera in it. I'm an old man, 48. I like writing things down on paper, and when I coach, I write paper notes and then scan them in, which is just ridiculous. And I've only just worked out I can use other technologies for this, but obviously I got something wrong. So did I, with the smart tablet that I use to now make the notes during coaching, did I lose the smart pencil that you absolutely need to use it?
Yeah.
Okay. Did I lose the tablet entirely? Or did I buy the wrong nibs, which are the things you plug into a smart pencil so that it can write on a tablet?
Oh, I like that. Oh, that's an interesting one. I don't think you lost a pencil because you're used to holding things that are the width of a pencil.
Oh, fucking hell, that is good. That is good.
Yeah. I also find it remarkable, James, that you think Ron Blue Peter and can't say the word remarkable.
I'll explain why, Alex, after.
Oh, okay. I don't think you lost the tablet because it wouldn't even crop up on this thing because it would be the 12th 12th, 11th time you've done it. So I think you bought the wrong nibs. That's why.
For fuck's sake.
Oh, that's 3-1 or 4-1, depending on.
I think I gave it away by not saying remarkable. So basically, I was using a remarkable. And then when I was chatting to Eric, lovely Eric, hi Eric, he said, well, I use an iPad. And I thought, well, will that work? And I looked into an app.
I suggested that before you bought the remarkable, but carry on.
I didn't buy it. It came to Access to Work, Sam, and it was very useful for meetings. But for coaching, you can put your own PDFs on there, but it was very slow. And Eric said, I use the iPad. And I just tried it once and was like, this is like 100 times better. And then immediately went out and ordered 6 replacement nibs for the remarkable pencil and not the iPad pencil.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Amazing.
You thought when I thought I'd made that one difficult. I was going to say hard, and that would have been a ding. We are off our game. We'll take a break. I'll find some headphones. We'll be back in part 3 to give you some tips.
All right then.
Yeah.
Welcome back to episode 143, possibly, of the ADHD Adults Podcast. We're talking about ADHD and stress, bad stress. As always, in part 3, we are talking just the tip. We give our top tips. Mine are great. Sam's and James's are genuinely shit.
Yeah.
But we have to do it contractually. So here we go. James, what are your top tips for dealing with stress?
I mean, this isn't just in the interest of time, but it's the stuff you read out, really, isn't it? Which is annoying, and that is the healthy stuff, which is the stuff that we tend to struggle to do. So the thing I would start with is trying to have a routine. Now, routine is, we often say this, or I do anyway, it's a prison, but without it, we've got chaos. If you've got a routine and can try and get the fundamentals in place of staying hydrated, of eating during the day, of trying to get into a healthier sleep pattern, of getting some exercise, that will help not just your ADHD symptoms, but also the stress. And I know I'm saying this in the full knowledge that it's fucking difficult, and sometimes it feels impossible. So if you want to build that routine, just start with one thing, and build on it. One thing at a time. Make sure you've got whatever reminders work for you to do that thing, and start to build a routine to try and have a little bit of control over the fundamentals that can then help reduce your baseline stress. What about you, Alex?
That list, the boring klaxon list, was exactly what I do as well. The ways to do it, how, is quite tricky, isn't it, sometimes? So the thing you said about that I always do when I used to get scared flying is I call it think like a psychopath or a cat. It's right now, in this second, how am I okay? Am I in danger right now? And if next to James, yes, I am.
Or people in your forest when they ask that question.
Yeah, they can't speak with a gag on, James. Jokes on you. So think like a psychopath, and the anxiety fights it. It fights it. It goes, oh yeah, but what if? What if? And you have to go, and it will happen. Like, oh yeah, but what if the plane crashes? No. I'm right now, and when you first start it, it's every 1 to 2 seconds, your brain will try and trick you into going, yeah, but what if it does happen? Oh, what we do then? And you have to keep saying, and then that time period spaces out. It really, really does. Meditation and breathing are helpful, but only ADHD informed. The idea that, so as someone that practiced Buddhism, just because I want to be even more of a wanker, it doesn't work to sit there and omit for half an hour. You do have to have other tasks to do. You doing something you enjoy, whether it's gardening or cooking or cleaning or whatever it is that you do enjoy, try some long, slow breathing techniques at the same time, and even some mindfulness. Google it for how to clear your mind. Remember, the idea isn't to not think and avoid distractions. It's to welcome those distractions and let them go. Everyone seems to think it's this blank existence you're supposed to live. That's bullshit. And what I will say is that all of that depends on knowing what success looks like internally. So if you're doing all the tasks and spending 25 hours a day working, and asking yourself, okay, which one of those do I need to do? Which ones would make me feel successful, and which ones wouldn't, and let them go. I think that's the key. Sam, any tips? Because you're a relaxed person.
Yes, strap in. This is going to be
what
impressive,
do you do?
isn't it?
Yeah. Hang on,
yeah,
strap in needs a ding.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
ding. Oh, sorry. My God, I'd left a tag in. Yeah, obviously nothing I do work because I'm a constant ball of fucking stress. So don't take any advice from me, but here's my advice. What I try to do is do not think about the thing until you're there or even after it. Now, this is really fucking hard to do because obviously you want to think about it all the time. So I have to keep my mind distracted by doing other things. So say Paul really helps me. Paul and Ariel, it really helps me. It is the only time my mind is quiet. I know if I go there, my mind will be quiet and I'll have a great time. But I do not want to fucking go there. I don't want to exercise. I don't want to leave the house. I don't want to see people. So what I have to do is distract myself with other things. And my bag's ready there by the door. And all of a sudden, James keeps coming in annoyingly every 5 minutes going, you've got to get ready for Paul. Got to get ready for And then before I know it, I'm there and I can't do anything about it because I'm there. Once I'm there, I'll do it. So that works for me. James.
Bag of shite. James comes in annoyingly.
I know it's really helpful. It's really helpful.
The same for when it's the same for when you go to work, because I have to keep coming and saying, Sam, remember you're going to work in an hour, and then
yes, okay, for fuck's sake.
We all know that exercise is helpful for ADHD, but it's also ADHD is a structural barrier for accessing exercise, both socioeconomically, but also because you've got your bag there, and there are 1,000 opportunities for your impulsive brain to say, just fuck it off, and that isn't acknowledged, I don't think, enough in the health support community when they're saying just do exercise, and we laugh because we know that, but we also feel shame and guilt for it. Really, really brilliant tips, Sam, ironically.
Oh, yeah. No, you carry on with your personal reflections throughout mine.
It's just the tips, not personal reflections.
I know. That's what you normally say through mine. Anyway, I haven't finished. Keeping myself busy if I'm really, really stressed. So you have to find things that keep your mind busy without stressing you out. And it's really difficult. I've spoken before about how I have to have a task that occupies my mind enough to distract it, but not too much so that I get engrossed with it. And that's all I want to fucking do. And then I leave all the other things that I need to do, which then makes me stressed because I've got more to do afterwards. Logic puzzles, I fucking love. I love logic anyway. So logic puzzles are absolutely brilliant for me. Or something like, I like putting things together. So those rocker kits and things like that. I'm doing one of those at the minute. Things like that kind of you can calmly do that don't get you too overexcited, but keep your mind distracted from all the shit that you've got going on, really help me. Also, because obviously I'm doing too much shit all the time and I am not very good at this, but I know all the tools because I can do coaching, and there are loads of tools that we can use in coaching to help you get all. So what really helps when I can do this is getting all the tasks that I need to do out there. I put them all out there, and then I normally use the task matrix to kind of prioritize them. But then what I'll do is I've got like all of my tasks are on one list, on OneNote. Sorry, my brain is really clunky today. And then I choose three things that I absolutely have to do today. Now, I normally, no, I won't go into what I do that's wrong. This is tips, isn't it? So yeah, I've got my master list that's hidden away so that I can't see it. And then I've got the 3 that I absolutely have to do today. And I just work on doing those 3 tasks. If I get them done, then I do more. But if I've hidden the whole massive list of tasks away from myself, it can overwhelm me, you see. So if I've just got the 3 and I think these are the only 3 things I've got to do today, that can sometimes work. Not always, because what I tend to do is not do any of the 3 tasks, but just do random tasks that aren't even on my master list. They're things I don't even need to do, but my brain just wants, this is top tip, sorry. Yeah, so if you can, just organize yourself better, basically. And yeah, when Alex was talking about mindfulness, I can't do it anymore, but I used to be able to do it. And there's a really good app called Headspace, which you've got a free trial on. I really liked it. I can't do it now, but I used to back then.
James, you know what's annoying is in all of that nonsense, the idea of is really helpful is to reduce stress by having clear, achievable, meaningful goals within a list. How annoying that It's like blind chickens sometimes picking up corn.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I literally,
that.
not even figuratively, Alex. I literally said this in the productivity course last night, to make sure you have a master list and to take things from that. Just quickly before we finish, if Sam has finished, because I mean that was 15 minutes of.
I'll stop now because I could go on, and none of it's useful because I'm still constantly stressed.
Two things that kind of came up while Alex and you were talking. Yeah, we'll take it at the minute. Do you remember that piece of research we talked about a few months ago about how assisted relaxation therapy is as effective as CBT for ADHD? That's suddenly now like big kind of coin dropping that, oh my God, actually, yes, if you can reduce stress, it probably will reduce the symptoms of ADHD. So
absolutely will, yeah.
And actually, with that in mind, because obviously CBT doesn't help most people, but it really helped me. But the thing that helped me most was exposure therapy, because a lot of my stress is around leaving the house and social situations, and exposure therapy really helped me to. So basically, you're coming out of lockdown, your task would be to go to the supermarket you usually go to with James, and that wasn't too stressful. Yes, not for everybody. Although
open at midnight, how did he manage that?
But then the next time I would go without him to the same supermarket at the same time, and it's that kind of exposure and gradually exposing yourself, that helped me to realize that actually it's not that bad. So exposure therapy works for me. None of this may work for you because we're all different. Do what you want. I don't care.
Excellent. Getting back to me wrapping up with two things.
Oh yeah.
The other thing was in terms of prioritizing and routine. One of the things that we often talk about urgency and importance, but doing something that makes you feel better. So if you're struggling to prioritize something that makes you feel better.
Yeah,
is a really good way of actually just starting a day and reducing your stress. So it could be that you've got urgent things, important things, easy things, but if there's a thing makes you feel better, do that thing at the start of the day to just
as a task.
I was just about to say. Yeah. So I had that as a task once, that my task was for relaxing, and then I would keep doing things, and then I think, no, stay on task. Stay on task. You need to relax today.
10 minutes guitar playing as a task that you've got to tick off is a good thing.
So
not for me.
Lots of people still ask me whether it's talks and social media about the guitars. I have started picking it up again, and what I've done is I've stopped coaching sessions at 7 a.m. and in the morning, when I'm more likely to be able to, at the minute, I am actually picking the guitar up and writing some music and playing it, and it's something that I enjoy, and it means I start the day in a better, kind of less stressed place. Anyway, this has gone on for we've been recording this for an hour, and
I know
I'm tired of you two. So that was episode 143 of the ADHD Adults Podcast, where we talked about ADHD and stress. If by a miracle you enjoyed any of this wank, you can find more content by subscribing on Patreon. Visit www.theadhdadults.uk. That's the wrong address on the script, isn't it? To find out more and to get in touch if you want to. Bye-bye.
Bye all.
Bye.
Really?
What's
After
that?
143, you do the bye last.
Trigger warning, klaxon, 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 big klaxon. Trigger warning, klaxon, klaxon, klaxon.